What does today tell you, if anything? A new month, a new trading week, and yields on 10-year bonds down just a bit. What say you?
Well, the last couple of weeks, we've seen some pretty sharp moves in bond yields, and that's become a problem for some stocks and for some investors. So as that problem has alleviated itself a little bit in the last few days, stocks are rebounding nicely. But we think the bigger picture of what's going on here is that it's becoming fairly obvious that earnings visibility is beginning to improve and the economy is going to be pretty hot for the next several quarters. And we think that's going to ultimately lead to a rotation within the market from a lot of these high-flying, high-beta, smaller stocks to companies with better earnings momentum versus their peers, for example. So a little less beta in the market, a little more quality or earnings.
So a more fundamental market, Mark, that's what Michael seems to be pointing to. Do you see that as well? In other words, that now people are going to really look at where the earnings are, where they're headed, and therefore be able to price a little more accurately, I suppose.
I do see it much more of a stock picker's market. I think a year ago and even up to 6 months ago, it was much more of a macro bet on whether the economy would reopen and the stay-at-home trade was alive and well. And that's been proven out because if you look at some of the biggest big caps, you look at some of the FANG names, you look at Amazon, Facebook, they've basically been sideways for 6 months. And yet, as we just heard from Bob, the market's about to hit all-time highs. I think that's a really impressive signal and also tells you that people are doing their bottoms-up work. And if you exclude some of the highest multiple names that have taken this market higher, X that, the market's doing terrific. The last 3 months for those big FANG names hasn't been great. I love that backdrop. It means people are doing their work and buying individual stocks.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.